Hey everyone, this is Bailey from the EMH, and I'm back with another Elephant Money video. And today we're just going to do a little quick May report card to see how the most successful protocol in all of DeFi is rocking and rolling. All right, so a little checkup today, guys. So if you're new to Elephant Money, one thing you have to understand is that we are only in decentralized finance, in decentralized liquidity pools. All right, so you will not find our token on a centralized exchange. So basically, guys, the price of our elephant token is dictated just through the underlying math equations and cannot be manipulated by human participants. All right, so if you look at here, a centralized exchange, people are buying and selling, they're placing orders on where they want to buy and sell, what prices. People are using leverage, shorting things, and then eventually that has to get flushed out of the system. And it's rife with speculation and volatility. So the elephant token is going to be something that's just dictated by the math formulas, and it has to obey those rules. All right. And this is what's going to allow us to really push the elephant token's price to levels that pretty much I think are, going to be tough to beat. All right. So it's going to be a great asset to have in your portfolio. All right. So guys, just checking in, the elephant token has two massive liquidity pools on PancakeSwap. And the largest of the two liquidity pools is the elephant token paired with the BNB token. And so what you're seeing here, guys, is this is called the constant product formula curve. And that you can get that by doing the amount of tokens of your one token times the amount of tokens of your other token. And you're going to get a number here, which is called a constant. So that number stays fixed. And what you can see on this graph here is a combination of every single combo of BNB and elephant tokens that could exist in that liquidity pool. All right. So as people are buying and selling elephant token, that combination is moving around on this constant product formula curve. Right. So that's how we can tell the quantities of the tokens in a liquidity pool. All right. And this is it for decentralized finance because it has to obey those mathematical formulas. Okay. So stay away from centralized exchanges, guys. All right. So here's the scoop. All right. So BNB right now is about $305. So you can see, guys, that we have made steady progress towards lowering the amount of elephant token and moving out and gaining more value with our BNB, guys. And the more that we progress down this constant formula curve, the more value gets put into the liquidity pool, and it's paired up with less elephant tokens. Okay. And the rule is, guys, this quantity of elephant token that's in your pool is always equal to the monetary value of BNB. All right. So as we move farther and farther down, we get higher and higher monetary value in our pool and lower and lower elephant token. But these are equal to each other. So it actually just ends up spiking the price, and it accelerates at a very, very rapid rate. Okay. So you can see, guys, that we have gobbled up some BNB. So we went from about 46,000 mid-May, about 48,000 BNB, and now we're at 52,500 BNB. So we're just collecting BNB, and you can see how rapidly we've gone from 108 trillion to 105 trillion. So now we're only 96 trillion elephant tokens left, all right, in our BNB liquidity pool. Whew. All right. And guys, you might be able to notice here that from the first half of May, we made a little bit of progress, but look how far we've come from the last couple of weeks. All right. I believe that is called FOMO. All right. And yeah, so people have been buying and buying from the BNB pool and gathering smart money, some elephant token. All right. So that's looking good. Okay, our BUSD liquidity pool. All right, so our other liquidity pool on PancakeSwap, elephant token is paired with BUSD. All right, this liquidity pool is the smaller of the two right now. It's sitting at about like 22 to 23 million in liquidity. All right. And you can see, guys, that again, we have made progress and we have removed more elephant token from the liquidity pool. Okay, so again, guys, we had our constant product formula. So all we have to do is take our monetary value. So it's about $11.4 million in BUSD sitting in the pool at this time, paired with about 68 trillion elephant tokens. We get our constant, we have our curve, which shows us all the different combinations of tokens that can exist in that liquidity pool. And here's the points, okay? Now, guys, what you might see, all right, and so we've gone in the month of May from about 73.5 trillion elephant token in our pool to just a little over 68 trillion tokens in the pool there. And we've captured from about 10.4 million to about 11.4 million. So an additional $1 million in BUSD has gone into this liquidity pool, okay? One of the things that's really cool that I just want to point out to you guys is that when I make some predictions and I do some modeling with this constant product formula, this K number isn't like a stagnant number, but I have to kind of update it and change it a little bit over time. All right. And specifically with this liquidity pool, what you're going to notice, and if I zoom in on these values, you're going to start to see like the May 1st and the May 15th point along the curve. It starts to like fall off the curve. If I get very, very close and inspect it, it's actually not quite on that constant product formula curve. All right. And one of the things that's like a masterpiece to this system is that the elephant token has a tax on it, and 5% of that tax, and these are on transactions on PancakeSwap, 5% of that tax goes to protocol-owned locked liquidity. All right. So it eventually comes, and it's coming into this liquidity pool right now. So it gets paired up, elephant and BUSD, that tax, and then it gets added in to the liquidity pool. So what's happening, guys, is that there's a little more value and a little more elephant token that's getting added back into the liquidity pool as part of that tax. And what it actually does is it's actually expanding, and it's ever pushing out our constant product formula. And it's a way that we're scaling the system. We're capturing more and more value over time. All right. So a lot of my projections when I'm using the constant product formula curve, it's not taking into account like this growth that's accruing with those taxes. Okay. So they're kind of like you can kind of consider them as like undershooting actually what the actual real value could be by a little bit. All right. So I thought that's kind of neat. Like you can see that. And I want to show you guys what that looks like with the actual transactions on Dex Screener. All right. So here's Dex Screener right here. And so this is our BUSD liquidity pool. And what I did was, and like this chart, come on, it's like absolutely ridiculous. All right. And this is why the elephant token's price can go up so much. And it's so predictable. All right. We are not on these centralized exchanges where people can do anything they want. Like it has to obey the mathematical formulas and the tokenomics of the system with the elephant treasury buying back tokens. It is forcing this price to skyrocket, and it's going to happen. So, if you're like nervous, like, oh my God, someone's going to dump this price, like, nope, sorry, like you have to obey X times Y equals K. You got to obey it. Let's go. All right. So guys, if we take a look, so you're going to see that Bertha just plopped in another add into the liquidity pool. So this is all of what Bertha is doing. She's buying and buying and buying and buying elephant token, and periodically you might see an ad in there. Okay, so periodically an ad. You might see a sell every once in a while where she's going to be putting some money into the redemption queue. All right, but primarily, guys, you're seeing buys and then these ads. So if I filter to just add, you're going to notice that she is just adding and adding and adding more protocol owned locked liquidity. All right, protocol owned means that it's owned by the protocol and it's not coming out of these pools, right? It can't be like unstaked or moved because it's locked in there. And so it's going to forever be building this massive reservoir of value that people are going to be able to benefit from, right? Because the price floor is just constantly rising and the price is becoming more and more stable and less prone to being able to decrease as people sell. All right, so it's just a huge thing, and you can see like all these ads, you know, it's going to be moving that constant product formula curve out and just gathering and gathering and gathering more and more value, be able to capture and eat up all of the BUSD and all the BNB that's out there. All right, so this, guys, is it's science, it's math, it is financial engineering. This is the most solid system you'll see in DeFi. This is true DeFi. It's you know, it's using all the tools available. You know, Bank Teller's been able to just kind of craft a system through all of his experiences, all the smart contracts that he's done over the years. He's cracked the code and he's created a system that, in my mind, is just, it's firing on all cylinders. All right, so let's just check out, guys, one last thing, which is our price equations. All right, and so we talk about elephant token going parabolic, right? So the price of this token is going to be along these parabolic curves, okay? And so as more and more capital gets put into a liquidity pool, the price goes up the curve, all right? If capital gets taken out, all right, the price goes down the curve, okay? But you can see, guys, that in May, the first part of May, the prices were close, but if you look horizontally, the BUSD pool is a little bit higher, all right, horizontally, all right, than the BNB pool, okay? And we had kind of unleashed the beast where Bertha, the elephant treasury, was just buying and buying and buying from the BUSD pool and really creating more and more rapid price appreciation, okay? Because this curve increases faster because it's that liquidity pool is a little more shallow. All right, but you see here, guys, that the massive amount of FOMO, and what was cool about it was like the BNB pool seemed like it was always cheaper, you know? So like Bertha was like chugging up the BUSD side, and then like everybody was like, oh, dude, it's a little cheaper to get into this BNB side. You know, so they just kept buying and buying, and like notice like the distance that we covered on this price curve here through those last couple of weeks of June. All right, and it's kind of caught up, and both of these pools now are sitting roughly just a little under 17 cents per million elephant tokens. All right, so making tremendous progress. All right, the system is a well-oiled machine, and it's a community bank, and it's a financial, you know, cooperative. You know, the more people participate and join the team and join the herd, the more everyone benefits, all right? Because all of these prices skyrocket, and the system is built with sustainability in mind, all right? So I'm super excited about the future. Like, I know this summer is going to be absolutely fire. There's going to be crazy stuff going on, okay? So hopefully, guys, you check out Elephant Money, you check out this elephant token, and you can either ride the parabola or get run over it. But it's coming fast and furious, guys. 2023, year of the elephants. Catch you on the next one, guys. This is Bailey from the EMH. I'm out.